What's up, guys? Mike Brown here for thelines.com, playpicks.com. Going to talk to you about Christmas Day football. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you and yours out there. Real quick video just to kind of give you the thoughts here on what we got with this Saints and Vikings game that's going down here on Christmas Day. Up early this morning doing the Christmas thing. You can see hair's all kinds of crazy right here, but wanted to give some quick thoughts as to how I'm playing this deal here this afternoon. So if we take a look over here at DraftKings, you can see Saints 6.5 point favorites, 51 your total. If you look over here at MGM, same, we're moved to 7. So 7 here at MGM, 50.5 your total. And then over here at BetFred, we're taking a look at 6.5 and 51 on your total over here at BetFred. We have the full written breakdown over here on the lines as always. So go ahead while you're here, give us a thumbs up in this deal. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's Christmas, man. Come on, subscribe, help us out, help us continue to grow the channel as we go here. I'll scroll down so you can read along for the actual preview here. And really what we're looking at, guys, is a battle of a really, really, really good defense against what has been a pretty fairly efficient offense, actually, with the Minnesota Vikings. I know it doesn't seem that way, but when you really look at the advanced metrics, I mean, they are 11th overall on offense DVOA. They are 6th overall according to Pro Football Focus. But really what that comes down to is how good their run game has been and how good Dalvin Cook has been all year long. 6th overall DVOA rush offense, the number 2 overall rush offense according to Pro Football Focus, 1st overall in adjusted line yards. And then when we go down, early down success rates, actually 5th overall in the league. So they've been doing really, really well. Passing not as great, passing not as efficient, and passing more than anything else is what we're looking at is a team that gives up a lot of pressure. They are dead last in pressure allowed. They are 26th in adjusted sack rate. And like I said, they're going up against New Orleans defense that has been absolutely fantastic, arguably the best defense in the league over the last 6 weeks. You look at their DVOA rank 2 overall, Pro Football Focus has 4 overall. Then you look, I mean, against everything up there as far as the advanced metrics in the top, 5, 6, 7 in the league. Pressure rate, we talked about, here's the big difference, right? So what are we going to see when Kirk Cousins does get forced into passing situations? Because pressure rate allowed, we talked about the Vikings offense, 32nd, dead last as far as pressure rate allowed, and the New Orleans 3rd overall in pressure gained in pressure rate that they are that they're putting on quarterbacks. And so, a weakness in that offensive line for the Vikings versus a big, big strength for the Saints in this game. So that's kind of how we're looking at this thing. I'll scroll a little bit if you want to read along a little bit more. But if we're looking kind of at the Minnesota offense versus the New Orleans defense. Now, on the other side of the ball is the New Orleans offense versus the Minnesota defense. And, Drew Brees came back last week, and even Drew Brees said he is not 100%. And I think you saw that in his play. Drew was pretty bad in that game. Now, should he continue to get healthier each week? We kind of think maybe that would be the case, right? I mean, just logically, you think as time goes that you're going to be able to get healthier as you move along. But man, 11 cracked ribs for a dude and a punctured lung for a dude that's, over 40 years old is, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get much better. I don't know, really, to be honest with you. And so I don't love the New Orleans offense in this situation. Of course, Michael Thomas, as we know, is on injured reserve. And so Traquan Smith gets moved injured reserve as well. So this offense is going to have to run through Alvin Kamara. That is just basically how this offense is going to have to function. Drew doesn't have the arm strength to get it downfield anymore. And so it's going to be just dinks and dunks all over the place. That being said, the offense is still ranked in the top 10 according to DVOA as far as offense goes. They're down at 13th according to Pro Football Focus, however, so a little bit more middle of the pack for them there. The Minnesota defense, if you look at the advanced metrics, are pretty bad, kind of across the board. I mean, yards per play given up 26th in the league, yards per pass given up 27th in the league. When we look at their run stop win rate, 31st, pass rush win rate, 28th. So not getting much pressure on the quarterback at all, 27th overall in pressure rate. So Drew should have all the time in the world, and he shouldn't have to worry about getting hit and beat up and battered. So there is that working in New Orleans' favor in this one, that you're not really having to worry about about Drew getting beat up with those hurt ribs, right? Because again, they don't generate much pressure. And then even with that, the Saints offensive line, 7th in pressure rate allowed, middle of the packs, 15th in adjusted sack rate. So I mean, they're not bad at all in protecting the quarterback as it is anyway against a team here in the Vikings. It doesn't look like they're going to put much pressure on Drew as it is anyway. So when we take a look over here, let's actually take a look at the player props here first, which are some of which I think are minimally interesting. If you're wondering about the passing yards, this is literally, island game, really, what do you expect? But I mean, this is just dead on where I had the projections. I mean, Drew right at the middle 250s, and say the same with Kirk Cousins. So I don't see an edge whatsoever in the passing yards props really anywhere. So this longest pass completion is fairly interesting, where it's set at 36.5 yards as far as the longest completion goes. I mean, as we said with Drew Brees, I mean, there's not really anyone on that team. I mean, I guess if you count Manny Sanders, I guess at this point, that really gets down the field. So I mean, it could be a yards. It could be one of those like yards after catch things. And Alvin Kamara is about as good as there is in the entire league at getting open for stuff like that. But one of the things I do want to kind of point out here is Kamara. Like I said, I think this is going to be the Kamara show. You can see rushing yards over here at MGM sitting at 63.5. Over here at DraftKings, we are sitting at 69.5. So do you see you're getting a full, this one's juiced pretty good now to 150, but you're getting a full 6 yards difference. So people coming in pounding the over on that, I don't blame them with it being such an incredibly big discrepancy. But more than anything is where you look over here at the receiving stuff. I mean, this is kind of where, Alvin Kamara is going to have to be a huge part of this game today. And when we take a look down here, 45.5, but you go over here, 45.5, much less juice over here at MGM. You can see 145 over here where it's already up to 167 at DraftKings. I do like the yardage over, not necessarily the receptions though, because I think Kamara can do a lot after the catch. 5.5, he's got to get to 6 receptions. That is, it's a lot of receptions. That being said, it would be an over or pass for me. Certainly not at 175, which is where's the juice now. Over at MGM, it's already to 150. But I just don't know if I like that 150. So I'm probably just going to pass on that and go with the yardage, and do the yardage over here at MGM on the 45.5. Again, he's going to have to be he's going to be the primary receiver. He's going to have to do a massive amount of work. I also like the over on Latavius Murray for receiving yards as well. 9.5. Again, without the weapons, Drew Brees is going to have to just dink and dunk the ball down the field. So I like Latavius Murray to get us, a catch or two in this game. So I'll be playing. These are smaller than typical bets, but I do like those in this one a pretty good amount actually. So I'm going to have those in the account, no doubt about it. And then the other thing would be is what do you think that Marcus Callaway's role becomes with no Traquan Smith and no Michael Thomas? Does Marcus Callaway really step up? Because you're looking at, 31 yards. There's going to have to be someone is going to have to step up and be a secondary receiver for Drew Brees. So if you think Callaway's that guy, 31's not very many yards at all for, a guy that's going to have to catch. I mean, someone's going to have to step up and be a receiver in this game for Drew Brees. But for me, guys, the biggest play for me, I'm not taking the straight side. I do have the Saints in a teaser with the Bears, just so you have that. Just so you know that. I have the Saints down to 1. I got a worse number than 6.5. That's right here. When it was at 7, took the Saints down to 1 and got the Bears down to a point as well. Not going to play a straight side, though. What I do like is the under in this game, though. Look, the case for the over, I guess, would be that this Saints defense decides to not show up today and the Vikings are able to go up and down the field. And then, I expect the Saints to have some pretty decent success against the Vikings in this one as well. That I guess that's the case for the over here, but that just hasn't been the case for the Saints defense over really the last 6 to 8 weeks of the season. They've showed up every day and played very, very hard. They are one of the best by all the metrics out there defenses in the league. So the case for the over, I guess, would be a no-show from them. and the Vikings just go nuts. Maybe that's the case. But I'm on the under in this one, under 51. And I suggest you definitely look for the 51. As we mentioned over here at MGM, it's 50.5. So we don't want to, we don't want that. We want 51 for sure. 51 is kind of really the only total key number that I pay attention to these days, but so many different combinations to get to 51. So we want the under of 51 in this. Look, awesome defense in the Saints. They're going to limit the production. Now, Dalvin Cook's still going to do well. They're not going to totally destroy Dalvin Cook. He's been amazing all year long, and they found ways to get him going every single game, it seems like. But this defense is legit, probably a top 2 unit, if not the best unit in the league. They're going to put a lot of pressure on Kirk Cousins. He's not going to be able to sit back there and just pick things apart and find Justin Jefferson down the field. So I don't expect a ton of points out of them in this one. Look, I just don't like the Saints offense, to be honest with you, right now, with the way Drew looks, with no Michael Thomas, no Traquan Smith now at this point, and you're really having to rely everything on Emmanuel Sanders and Alvin Kamara. I just don't think that's incredibly efficient. And plus, here's the other deal. Even on scoring drives, the nature of the way that Drew Brees does it, right? Dink, dunk, dink, dunk, dink, dunk, dink, dunk down the field. Just basically the pass game being an extension of the run game. The clock just runs tick, 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 over and over and over again. And then what does Minnesota want to do? How do they want to play? They want to run Dalvin Cook. That's what they want to do as well. Which again, that by the nature of how this offense wants to function, has the clock continue to run and doesn't really lend to a ton of points being scored in the game. So for me, the real side I'm taking here in this one is going to be the under of 51. And, no one wants to not root for points, but I just don't think there's going to be a ton of points in this game. So under 51 for me, those couple of little player props as little side bets there. And of course, guys, as always, we have a full written breakdown over here at thelines.com. So be sure and check that out. Go ahead and subscribe to the page while you're here. Give us a thumbs up and let us know in the comment section how you plan on playing this game. Go ahead and guess the exact score. And if you do that, so you got to put in there, Saints 64, the Vikings 61. Put it in the comment section. If you happen to get it exactly right, we'll go ahead and ship you an Amazon gift card for taking the time to watch the video, also for supporting the channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button while you're here. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you and yours, and good luck on all of your bets.